material at? Is this it? No. Is that it? No, it's off. Here it is. All right. I know. Said I'd start around 6. I'm a little late. But work was a fat bitch today. Sucked really bad. But today, just gonna be working on this cushion. It's a part of a super big upholstery job, the one I put in the thumbnail. There's about like 30 something total, so big job. Put in some caffeine. All right, let me actually, okay, should be live right now. Let me pull up chat real quick. All right. There we go. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you wouldn't believe the nightmare customer I've been working with at work. For those of you who don't know, I do upholstery as a full-time job as well. Well, canvas and upholstery. I mainly do subcontracting on the side, which is a job I'm doing here. Well, before we get started, let me grab a Sharpie. It's actually, let me not knock my phone over. There we go. Okay. I was a little late for this stream, later than I wanted to be, because first of all, traffic was terrible. The boat I was out today, I was working on, took 2 hours to get to the shop once we were finally leaving, which is atrocious because of traffic, you know. But anyways, so the boat I'm doing, it's like a super boring looking regular motor yacht. It's nothing crazy. It's like, I don't know, maybe 40 or 50 feet. Kind of old, ugly. And I'm doing a full enclosure and I was installing it. And most boats nowadays, they have cameras. So, and the boats are hooked up to power. So even if the people aren't there and the boat's off, they can still look through the cameras and monitor you. I was talking to the guy I was working with about something so simple, sharpening a pencil. I needed to sharpen my pencil because I was numbering all the windows, you know, so I could take back to the shop so we could start making them. Lead broke, so I was like, hey, I'm gonna go sharpen this pencil really quick. Literally the next day, we get a call at the shop from this customer saying, your guys don't even have sharpened pencils? Oh my gosh, I was listening while they were on the boat. This person sucks so fucking much, dude. It's just work stuff. But, to be honest, it feels pretty good to start live streaming again. Because I feel guilty when I don't, or when I go through like streaks of not doing stuff on YouTube. So just know, if I'm not active on YouTube for a good 2 or 3 weeks, just know I am super busy, most likely dealing with absolute bitch customers. So that's what I've been doing the last couple weeks. Something's in the water this year that's making people just suck hard. We're getting so many annoying clients, but enough bitching about work, you know. I don't like to bring it home. So I'm going to keep it simple for this stream. The thumbnail of this, hopefully it's still up. Actually, I need to keep an eye on the chat. The thumbnail of this photo, or of this live stream, You're gonna have to work with me a little bit because my brain's like fried right now, and this is a job that I really should have done this Friday, but there's like 35 cushions on this thing, and I'm doing this solo, so I've been kind of slack this last week, but you know, it's the way she goes. But yeah, the tricky thing about this boat is, again, refer to the thumbnail, that's just the bow section of this boat, and that's kind of like half of the cushions in there. Because it's a 32-foot Pursuit, dual console type thing. It's actually a pretty big boat. And they designed every single cushion so different. A lot of times with big upholstery jobs, you get the same type of cushion. They're just like littered all over the boat, so you can basically just duplicate one cushion like 5 times and it'll work for a handful of them. Not this one. Let me just show you. Like this thing, I did start taking this apart, but this is like one of the cushions. Like this thing is not a quick cushion to do, and there's like 4 of these types. Not to mention, when I tried to uninstall the helm seat to take that off, it was completely corroded. It may as well be just a part of the boat now. So I gotta figure that one out. But for now, we're just gonna keep it easy with this one. And one thing I'm noticing a lot, whoever did the upholstery before this, because I'm not the first one to reupholster this boat. Dude, the other people before me were like lazy. Because what they did, you see me, I'm taking the staples out as I should, because, you know, that's the proper way to do it. Although there's a lot of different ways to do upholstery. You at least got to take the staples out and, you know, take off the old material. What the other people did, just extremely lazy. They just cut around here, left the staples and the material in the bottom, and then just stapled their new stuff on top. So now I got double the staples. Luckily, they didn't upholster this one, so this one's good. But like half of these cushions have double staples. I think I'm gonna be charging way more for the next job. But this is for a yacht sales place, so it's through a company, not one specific client. So at least there's that. But this specific yacht sales place keeps toying around with me, and I don't like them. And guess who does almost all of their work? Me. But all right, I sound like a grouch. Let me get over myself. It's not the end of the world. I'm good. It's just work stuff, you know. But work's done with today. Let's stop thinking about it. I am now doing some upholstery at my house. Nice live stream, nice and refreshing. But for any of you who are new or are just tuning in, what I like to do, even if these live streams don't get a hell of a lot of views, I still think it's important for this type of YouTube channel, because I try and have as much value to you guys as I can and show you guys tips and tricks and how to make stuff and like some insight. But what a lot of people do on YouTube is they'll just have the edited videos and they don't really show you what the real process is like and how long it actually takes, which is why I really like doing these live streams. I mean, also I can talk with you guys in real time, but it gives more of an insight as to how something really takes For instance, there's a lot of woodworking YouTube channels that I subscribe to, and like epoxy tables. I really want to make an epoxy table one day, but all I see are these like 30-minute cut down edited videos, which are like good videos, informational, but it'd be cool to like be able to scrub through a live, like completely unedited, just to see what the process is like. That's what I try and do with these. And which you can imagine takes a little bit of time, but it's important people see what it's really like, you know? But speaking of longer videos, I don't know if any of you guys have seen, I think it was the last video I uploaded, but I brought up, not that I'm not salty about it, like who cares? I enjoy people, trolls or whatever, because, you know, I like to poke and prod and make fun of them a little bit, you know, because I got thick skin. I'm not a little baby. But this person literally complained that my videos were too long, like you can't just click off of it. So, what I said in this video, out of spite, because she commented on the last live stream I did that was 4 hours long. He, whatever. Said, should only be 15 minutes. Look at sale right, pass. So, what I'm going to do to retaliate, either this week, maybe Saturday, probably not Saturday, because this week has been like tough. Maybe next week, probably next Saturday, I'm going to do either an 8-hour or a 10-hour live stream straight, purely out of spite. Not that this person is probably ever going to watch any more of my stuff, but you know, out of spite. I'm going to stick through it. I'm going to do it. Plus, that'd probably be some decent watch hours. So yeah. It is hot in here. That's the other thing I'm trying to figure out. If any of y'all have some like good ideas as to how I can cool down my garage in the summer, because it gets hot in here. Because here's my dilemma. I'll have my garage door open. It'll be the summer, right? There's not a lot of airflow in here, but when the garage door's open, like, it's pretty good, even if it is hot. But that allows like mosquitoes and gnats and bugs and stuff in here. And if you think I'm gonna be in my garage sweating while I'm working and have gnats eating at me the whole time, you are mistaken. That is not gonna happen. So I always close the door, which this metal garage door just turns into a giant freaking heat panel. So it's either kind of hot with bugs eating me or an actual oven, and I'm probably being cooked like actually a little bit, but with no bugs. So it's a trade-off. And I was thinking about maybe getting a mini split, like just attached to the wall in the back right there. But you know, that takes money, and I like to keep money more than I like to spend it. Although, arguably, that would be an investment and help with production. And in turn, I'd probably end up making it back pretty quick. But it's like $6,000 to do it. Would I rather spend $6,000 on an AC unit just for the garage, which I don't even think adds value to my house? Or would I rather buy a new machine? I'd rather buy a new machine. Oh yeah, not to mention with work, having these nightmare customers, impossible jobs that need to be done this week. I also have been dinging up my hand like really bad. Like, I don't know if y'all can see my middle finger right here. I hit it on like a board and it sliced it open, and I keep smashing it on everything, just like everything. So there's that. Alright. This foam still looks pretty good. Where's the steamer at? Oh, there it is. Oh, no, don't go away. Come on, computer. There we go. Alright. So what I'm doing here, this is actually a convenient little handheld steamer. I see a lot of people that use these super expensive ones. And the one I have at work that I use, they spent like $3 grand on it. It was like crazy expensive, and it takes like 30 minutes for it to heat up just to be able to like steam to come out. This thing heats up super quick, and it has the same like amount of steam coming out. It does the same thing. It is like $300, but better than $3,000. But what the steam does is it just helps puff out the foam a little bit more. Here, I'll try and give y'all a good look. See if y'all can see it. Like, you see this corner right here? I don't know if it's gonna expand very much. No, okay. I don't know if y'all can see it. Trust me, it actually does something. Depending on how old the foam is. Sometimes foam's a little too old and it won't. But and you really only ever need it on the corners. Like the middle of this doesn't ever really get compacted that bad. I'd say that's pretty good. Let me grab some of these. Alright then. And what this plastic does, it just makes it slide easier over the foam, because the back side of this material usually is like kind of felt-ish, and that against this bare foam, it's like so much friction, you are not gonna have it slide. And so having this plastic makes that a little bit easier. Gives you an easier time to adjust it and whatnot. And this is just some super thin plastic. It's like a freaking 10-mile roll I got at Lowe's. Not really, but it's like 400 feet long. So yeah, long enough. Oh man. I just got these like flavored water packs at Walmart. It's from like an energy drink brand, but they have 200 milligrams of caffeine. So like there's 200 milligrams of caffeine in here. It's awesome. And they taste pretty good. I really need to chill on the caffeine though. Probably, I don't know. Just a little layer of glue. And for those of you curious, all the stuff I'm using, like this spray glue or this plastic or whatever, I'm going to put everything in the description, like after the fact, once I upload this, once I'm done with this live. So, if y'all are curious as to the tools I'm using, check out the description once it's uploaded. Let's not get glue on that. Ba-boom. And let's trim off the excess. Let me get a better pair of scissors because those are absolute turd. Set that there for now. They did that. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna make a straight boxing all the way around. Yep, let's do that. Should I? Let me think. Yeah, I'll just copy this, I guess. So I'm gonna tear this apart. Let me actually mark corner. Mark this corner. Boom. And let's slice. Also, forgive the audio quality. I'm just using whatever my iPhone can do. I'm still trying to figure out a good setup that works for me, because the problem is, like, I'll be doing this for a little bit, I'm going to draw this out, cut it out, but then I'm going to move my camera around and point me at the sewing machine while I'm sewing. And there's got to be something better. And I know I can hook up an external mic too. Where is it? Right there. I know I could hook up an external mic to my phone, but then I can't charge it while it's going. Last time I did that, died in the middle of the stream, so that's a no-go. Man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty tired right now. But you know what? That money ain't gonna make itself. For now. It definitely will soon. Don't get me wrong. But for right now, suck it up, buttercup. Alright, there's this. Let's see, we can just cut this off. Alright, plus 0.5 that way. And there's a Sharpie on my fingers. Let's see. You want to know how I know I need to lose some weight? Because it's starting to get pretty hot, and like it just sucks being heavy when it's hot outside. And I'm like 210 right now. I've been mouth breathing like way more than I should. And it's probably because gaining a little bit of weight. I need to kind of fix that, you know. Unfortunately, and material I'm using for this, I'm just making these cushions white. It's called Mystic White Soft Dura, not that that matters, but it's actually going to look like, here's a cushion I already have done. It's basically just going to be bright white, easy peasy. Let's see, what does that say? Yeah. I should really recover my table. I've been having a lot of stuff transfer to the cushions, which isn't great. All right, let's see. Riveting stuff, I know. That's upholstery. Rope, let me turn this back on. Let's see. That should cover that. Where's that other piece? Let's see, we got this. Yeah, and the unfortunate fact is a lot of upholstery is the, what's up?
Got chicken steak and shrimp hibachi and chicken hibachi, both untouched, completely free.
How?
Emily paid, and she didn't want it, and I only took a few bites.
Okay. Cool. What's up?
Nothing.
But yeah, what I was saying, a lot of upholstery is actually like the prep work before. In the grand scheme of things, the amount of time you spend behind the machine is minimal compared to all of this super boring nonsense. That's why I try and skip past a lot of this in my videos, because who wants to watch this? Apparently 3 of you do. So, but yeah, super duper duper boring, but it is necessary. And this is what good upholstery takes. Although, this is probably more like average. Not that I'm like, I don't care about this job, it's just been dragging on. I mean, it costs a fair amount, but I'm just trying to get it done, you know, and be over with it. Where was this? I do need this match mark. That tells me where my corner is, and that tells me where my corner is. Sure does. Fun stuff. Dude, I'm boring myself right now. I'm sure this is going to be an absolutely terrible video. But we'll see. I don't know. I may not upload this. Like after it's said and done. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, probably not. Just because this is kind of not the most entertaining thing in the world. But it must be done. There's that. There's that. Now, let me, damn, I need to clean this table. It's so hard to keep this table clean and open, because first of all, it's not big. Second of all, you can really dirty up a table doing some upholstery. You like blink, and your table's fucked. So, I don't know, I'll figure it out, or I won't, we'll see. But you better believe, when I finally get to a point where I can build a nice big shop, this thing is gonna be freaky big. I'm never gonna run out of space again. Is this big enough? No. No, it is not there, bro. Probably this. Dang, I hope she ordered more material. Should have. Alright. So we're gonna go to like right here. Nice. What kind of boat do you have? I'd be curious. Because the boat I'm working on right now is a 2018, 19, I don't know. It's like a relatively new 32-foot Pursuit. It's got a solid 32 cushions on it. Which, like, a lot of them are just like small little ones like this size. So this probably accounts for like 8 or 9 cushions, but still tedious and annoying. Alright, so that's 2 inch, 2.5, 3. Okay, am I back? Okay. I need to put this thing on like do not disturb when I'm when I got it going. Alright, that is probably good enough. One thing I am super excited for though is I'm having someone build me all new tables, because right now all I have is a little bit of table in front of my machine. I really need some table behind it, because it's probably one of the biggest things slowing me down right now, just the sheer lack of table space. Because this is a small cushion, and this is just a small boxing I need to cut. You can imagine, like, I've made cushions like 9-10 feet before. 10, so that's what, 20, like 24 feet long. Sometimes I'll need to cut a strip of material. Usually for that I'll like split it up, but you know what I mean. I'm rambling. My brain's not all there. So there's this. Let's grab this. We got 2 pieces and the boxing. Now all we need a little bit of mesh there, bro. Here we go. Perfect. So, putting a little bit of mesh at the very bottom of the cushion to allow for drainage. So, cushion's this wide. Perfect. Perfect. Let's cut this. Gives me enough line. Did I cut that straight? Straight enough, I guess. So, for those of you who are just now stepping in, the only thing I'm making in this go is just this simple cushion. You can kind of see what the design looked like. It's got a little piece here, a little piece there. I'm just making this bad boy, which is a part of a big job I am doing. So yeah. Alright, we got all those pieces. And yeah, I think that's it. Get this. I'm gonna shimmy you guys around a little bit. Let's see. Let's turn this like that. Let's move you guys. I'm thinking. There we go. That's pretty good. Let's see. Yep. Let's get this bad boy on. Ignore the junk back there. You know, it's a garage. Whatever. Alright, let's see. Do I have a listing tape? I'll find it. Pop this bad boy right here. How much you want to bet I'm gonna run out of bobbin? Happens every time. What the shit? Really do need. Oh, there it is. bobbin I got. Aha! I knew it. Good thing I checked. And for some reason, my bobbin doesn't really like to wind very well. So, got a lot of fixing I need to do to this machine. It's starting to get kind of weird on me, you know? Let's see. How much left do I got? God damn it. This is so annoying. This is the type of stuff that slows me down, you know? Why am I winding a bobbin by hand? Because I am dumb, that's why. There we go, freaking finally. Snips go. I do not know. Whatever. It's whatever. Grab some of this stuff. I'm gonna French seam this. See, that's what I'm talking about. I keep hitting that stupid cut. And I drop that. Okay. There. See, so I'm on a 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch. That's about it. So that's that. Okay, so basically, what I was doing in the beginning, I was just tearing it all apart, which is, I got like these pieces, and what I did was, let me actually get a different piece to show you. So if you're making something off of the old cushions, what I always do, you can see I got these match marks like along the seams. Cover it with match marks, take it apart, and then just trace it to your material, which is what I'm doing now. That's how I got to here. You can see I got this same seam. Now it looks kind of silly right now because you can see a little bit of wrinkles here. That's going to get pulled out once I have it stapled on, and I'm also going to trim all this excess under here. So what I'm doing now is, because the ends of this is the boxing from the original one, because the end of this has this little curve and the shape to it, I made sure to add a match mark here and also corresponding on the this main body right here. So what you saw me just doing then was tracing. I was making the end of this boxing have the same shape. I put that match mark there. Make sure to add your seam allowance. But that's all I was doing there, was making sure the end of this. I made this boxing long, so once I get to the other side, I know exactly how long it needs to be. Then I'll just cut the excess off and do the same thing, trace the end cap. And I'm going to go ahead and sew this on. Now what you'll see with this seam, I French seamed, which basically means it's got that fancy stitching you see in some cars. That's what this little ribbon is. Because when you're doing that, basically you're the seam allowance, like if my fingers are the seam allowance, you're folding one side this way, and then stitching them down, which weakens the material. So you gotta put a backing piece like this to give it strength, so it won't rip easy. And I'm also gonna be French seaming the boxing. So, knowing that, let's go ahead and sew this boxing on. So this is gonna probably like this. Now I'm just lining up the match mark to make sure I have this boxing in the right place. Now that I know that, I'm going to go ahead and sew it down. So, and for all my seam allowances, I always add a 1/2 inch. Because if you tear apart your old stuff and you cut all the seams, you're basically cutting off your seam allowance, so you need to make sure you add that back. I always do a 1/2 inch, so when I sew everything together, I always sew it in a 1/2 inch. Sure, I heard something. That there. Let's bring this a little bit closer. Alright, so now that I'm approaching the end of this, you can see I still got some extra material. Well, this is scrap. Shouldn't really be on there, but you see I got all this excess. Let's see. Nope, we want this. So I am going to trace. Okay, so this is kind of where this was wanting to go. Go ahead and take this off so we can then trace it. I'm kind of doing this backwards, but whatever. Alright, so let's keep it like this. Looks pretty good to me. I got that. Let's cut off this excess. Let's keep it going. I'm gonna do a quick before I actually French seam. I'm gonna do real quick test fit. How's that gonna do? That should do fine. Yeah. Alright. That should do good. And then we're going to do the same thing we did before and top stitch. I'm looking to make sure I have my seam allowance folded properly under here. Because you know that's the whole point of top stitching. So I'm always periodically checking, making sure everything's lined up. It can get tough around tight corners, but whatevs. So I use what's called listing tape. It is basically this, I think, is like 1.5 inches. You can almost see through it. It's like a very thin, it doesn't have a very big profile, so it's not bulky, so you can see through the material. But essentially, all it is just a thin ribbon you use for the backing of the French seams. There's honestly a bunch of different kinds. I don't really think you need one specific type of material. I've seen a lot of people that do like couches and like big furniture that are taking like a lot of abuse. I'll see they even use like, they'll even use webbing like this. You can probably, if you're looking for something easy, I'll leave a link to all of this in the description. But you might be able to check out your nearest like craft store. I'd be willing to bet they have some sort of thin type of webbing. Because really all you're looking for is something nice and thin so it won't like show up underneath the material. But the stuff I'm using for here is listing tape. And it does just fine. But honestly, anything works as long as you don't see it through the, like through the top. No problemo. I am gonna grab my drink. Man, it is so cramped in this tiny garage doing this upholstery. I can't wait until I can build my dream shop. You better believe I'm gonna make a video about that. That shit's gonna be so big. Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be way too big. Can't wait. That probably won't happen for like minimum 4 or 5 years, maybe. Probably being a little too optimistic, if I'm being honest. But you know what? It's called manifesting. Dang. Sounds like a lot. I can barely even fit, because I have a 2-car garage, but I can barely like fit this table in here and all the like nonsense like lawnmower and other junk I got. But regardless, I'm still gonna build a bigger table because I need some table space. But mark my words, you're gonna see that shop on this channel one day. It's gonna be magnificent. I'm sure everybody has their dream shop. I'm in South Carolina on the East Coast. Yeah. I really want to go to Alabama because there's a lot of good properties over there. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm just tired of South Carolina. Like, I've lived here my whole life. It's boring. Don't even get me started on how bad the drivers are. I've actually ranted about this before on a previous live stream. I'll be driving from North Carolina, because back when I was in the Marine Corps, I was stationed in North Carolina, and I would visit actually this house every weekend. I would drive from North Carolina, and as soon as I hit the state line from North Carolina to South Carolina, nobody uses their blinkers. Everybody's cutting in front of everybody. Roads go to shit. It is crazy how bad the people in South Carolina drive. It's crazy. So I'm getting out of here. I will say there's a lot of business for upholstery though, at least marine upholstery. But, you know, I don't want to limit myself to just boats. I've been trying to experiment with more furniture. If I'm being perfectly honest, I really want to do more furniture. Almost done. Okay. Now that's over with. Let's toss that over there. Let's spin you all around. You all see that well? Let's see. Let's bring y'all up a bit. probably good enough. And let's cut off this excess. Actually, let's point y'all up a little bit more. There we go. Super professional, I know. I just have such an efficient setup. Damn, I'm still kind of short. Or tall. There we go. And let's maybe. All right. Good enough. Let's trim off all this excess first of all. It's not really necessary, but it does have potential to kind of bulk up and you can see it through the top. So I just like to trim all the excess regardless. You don't want to trim it too close to your stitching because it will rip out and that blows. So yeah. Also be careful you don't actually cut through the main material. I've done that before. Talk about annoying. Is that means you gotta redo the whole thing. Alright. So all I'm doing is just trimming this stuff, and once I'm done, we're gonna go ahead and staple it up, and then this cushion will be done. That's why I really like these staple-on cushions, because all you need to do is just make the top skin. You don't gotta worry about the bottom, so they're usually pretty quick. It's the it's those mesh back ones that take forever. Scissors keep loosening up on me. This. I know, don't y'all just love watching me cut something? This is peak content right here. You think Mr. Beast is exciting? You should check this out. Hell yeah. Psych. All right. Got that done. Pretty sure all we got left to do. Why more? Why more furniture? Well, because I've done a lot of boat upholstery, and it's cool and all, it's good money. Pretty good money, actually. But I just want to like widen my skill set, because with like boat upholstery, like what I'm doing here, I'm not learning much more versus like furniture. There's an endless amount of like different types of furniture I can make, and I do want to start implementing like some woodworking too. Not like a woodworking channel, but like you know, if I wanted to make a really nice like teak helm chair style chair or something, just do my own like woodworking. I don't know, just kind of experiment. But I definitely want to do something different or new. Hold that thought. I'm gonna plug in the air compressor, get ready for a loud noise while it builds up. It'll take a few minutes. Hurry up. Okay, finally. Let's see. You are totally good. I was actually late because I got stuck doing a miserable job at work, so that's why I got started with the broadcast late. And no, I will not start from the beginning. But all I'm doing is I'm just making this simple staple-on cushion. It's just really simple. The only thing you missed was me taking apart the staples. I drew my match marks and everything, put that as a material, sewed it up. And now we are stapling. But this is a cushion I am doing for a big job. It's got like a total of, I don't know, I think like 35 cushions, something like that. And they all are completely different. for example, so like this is a super easy looking one, but here's another cushion from the same job. This monstrosity. I actually got started taking this apart already, but I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really feel like tackling this one. So, but yeah, I got super dumb stuff like that. But for the sake of an easy live stream, I'm doing this little thing. Yeah, I know. And there's that one. So I have 2 of those to make. Let's see. No, not really. And it just depends on the cushion and where you start. It just depends on the cushion to where you start stapling. For instance, there's a reason why I'm stapling at the top here, because this does have a top and a bottom. These round corners are the top, and where the mesh is on the bottom. And while I've been working on this, I've kind of realized this is a little bit looser than I usually like my cushions to be. So I'm starting on the top here, and I'm stapling it kind of low, just to give myself more room to like really pull it tight down here. It depends. You can start it anywhere you want. I will let you marinate in that terrible joke. Let's see. But yes, I do. What in the world? Let's move this around. Let's get this corner stapled. Yeah. See, I started at the top and stapled it almost too far back, but I did that so that would give me plenty of wiggle room to pull this tight. But almost everybody that I've worked with that do upholstery, and almost everybody that I've taught do upholstery, end up doing it slightly different than me. So like, this is just how I do things. The important thing is you get an understanding of the basics, and you'll figure out whichever method works best for you. That's really all there is to it. All right. But yeah, so this job, I said it has like 30 something cushion. It's either got like 32 or 35, and that's actually what the thumbnail was of this. This is a part of that job, but that was the bow section. I'm so ready to move past this job. Are you talking about like this right here? Because all this stitching is, so this is actually just a, okay, yeah, so normally if a lot of cushions do, this is just a design for this one cushion, or for this, for this one cushion, because all it is just a fancy seam. It serves honestly zero purpose other than looks, because here, let me show you another one. Here's a combing pad. This does the same thing. So that's just the style of this boat. It doesn't actually have a pull inside that's like helping it give shape. It's just a looks thing. But there are some other cushions that do on this boat. But one thing you do want to keep in mind, if you do have like decorative stitching, I swear, that thing either interrupts me or I forget I have it on and it jump scares me every single time. But what I was saying, let's say you got some decorative stitching in your cushion, you could be sewing it like the best you ever have. It could be laser straight, phenomenal, the best you'll ever do in your life. But if you aren't paying attention while you're stapling, the tension of like how tight you're pulling it, let's say you pull the cushion tighter on this side and not as tight right here, that can still get that stitch looking a little wonky. So you really want to pay attention to like the stitching, and especially like these seams right here, this perimeter seam where I put the boxing, because like you see it looks a little weird, but I am going to pull this down a little bit more. But you do want to look at all your stitching to make sure it's nice and even, because that'll really make a job look whack if you aren't paying attention to it. So let's pull this down like that. And I'm mainly looking at the boxing. Oh, really? I might do that. That's a good idea. Insulation panels. Yeah, because it gets bad in here during the summer. But I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Worse than the heat and worse than like mosquitoes getting in here, because I'm in South Carolina and it gets stupid hot. Roaches. Like, you'll get palmetto bugs. I don't think you will ever come across anybody that hates roaches more. Just ask Big Rig Scott if he's still a part of here. That's my dad. He likes to invade these live streams, but my whole life, roaches, no, can't do it. And I know for sure. I know for sure one of these days I'm gonna be doing a live stream and there's gonna be a roach come across. I'm gonna have to turn it off because I cannot function. So I don't know how I got on that tangent, but yeah, just a warning. There's a roach. Off. Not happening. Can't do it. Nope. Let's see. Alright, that's looking nice and straight. Could probably or hornet. Honestly, for some reason, hornets are especially fond of boats. I've gotten pretty, believe it or not, I've actually gotten pretty good around hornets. Solely out of frustration because they're in my way. But yeah. I'm not a big fan of bugs. Or any bug that resembles a roach. But you know what? Whatever. It's who I am. Yes, I do remember that bear. That was actually crazy. Alright, I'm going to take this one out too. And that's pretty good. And again, I'm exclusively looking at the seams when I'm stapling. That is how I know how hard to pull. Alright, I'd say that's looking pretty decent. Looks like a cushion. I would definitely sit on it. So let's fill in the rest of these staples. Because what I like to do, I get it like 50% stapled up everywhere. So right now there's like a big gap between all these staples. I like to get it to where they're about a 1/4 inch apart. Sometimes like space the staples out a 1/2 inch. Since this isn't the tightest cushion on the planet, it actually fit like relatively loose, although I got it to stretch pretty good. If I have like a really, really tight cushion, I'll like put a lot more staples in it, but you know. Well, thank you very much. This, it was a nice, easy cushion. Nice, refreshing break from all the crazy nightmare cushions I've been making lately. Although, the more difficult cushions I do, the better I get, I guess, but I'm going to be perfectly honest. I'm going to have to sit down with the Pursuit cushion designers and have a firm talking to, because the designer of this boat was not. God damn it. But yeah, they didn't do a good job designing these cushions, in my opinion. And that's not me being lazy and complaining that the cushions are hard. It's just there's so many different types of cushions. It's like, make up your mind. I don't know. Maybe that is me just being lazy and bitching a little bit. But you know what? I've never been a big fan of Pursuits anyways. You know, I'm not so sure about that because these cushions are like incredibly difficult. But then again, I don't know how those factories operate over there. I don't know how like they do big production, like factory upholstery like that. So who knows? I know they have a lot of like CNC machines that like do a lot of the hard work for them, like cutting out the foam and whatnot. So it probably means nothing to them how easy or difficult the cushion is. And like I said, I mean, I'm all about doing some hard cushions, but maybe what it is, I just have a bad taste in my mouth from this terrible yacht sales place I'm working with through this, because that's who's like providing this job. But Adrian, why do you keep bitching about them? What did they do to you? I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you. For instance, last Friday, I told the manager, hey, I'm going to swing by on Friday. I get off a little bit early, so I'll install the cushions I have, and I'll pick up the rest of them off the boat. They're like, yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll have somebody there working late, so if you stay a little bit longer, like, that's perfectly fine. Somebody will be there. And sure enough, first of all, there were bees all over this boat. Yes, I did. This is called Mystic White Soft Dura. I'm going to be perfectly honest, though. I haven't seen this. I haven't really seen this material on there. Just a warning, I don't really know how entertaining it was in the beginning because, you know, I started kind of tired. Like, I have a little bit of caffeine in me, so I was like kind of quiet. Just a warning, the beginning of this might be kind of boring, so. But yeah, Soft Dura Mystic White. It's a pretty nice material, actually. I really like it. It's easy to work with, and it stretches really good. So if you have like complicated shapes, you need to staple around, or if you got wacky corners, it's actually pretty good. Reload some bullets. Am I forgetting anything? Doesn't look like it. Alright, let's see. Probably see this one a little better. No, so actually, let me try and find. One second. Let me find two cushions. So, one of the things I was mentioning earlier in the video. So here is one of the cushions, right? This has that bolstered thing like you were mentioning earlier. This has like a tan look to it, right? So this is one of the different colors. And then the other set of cushions, it's all on the same boat. This is like, ow, freaking keep hitting. This is like a weird purpley type thing. So the original color of these was atrocious. This boat actually doesn't have an owner. They're getting ready to sell this boat. So this is exclusively being worked through the yacht sales place. And they just like to steer more on the blank kind of. It's like when people flip houses, they go with the easy colors like white and gray and light colors that everybody likes. Yeah, here, let me show you this. So with this stupid cushion, right? It's not stupid. It's honestly not that bad. You notice, Adrian, it looks like you've already unstapled this cushion, and you would be right about that. I did unstaple it. But you see this right here? Those are more staples. What the original people did when they were taking this apart, they didn't take out the staples like I was doing earlier in the video with this cushion. They literally just cut around the staples, left it in, and then stapled right on top of it. So this was like extra thick down here. That means the cushions they did reupholster, I have double the staples to take out of. I'd be willing to bet this boat came from Florida because this is the type of shit people do in Florida. If you're from Florida, I'm sorry. But I have redone a lot of jobs from Florida. So, ow. And I busted my middle finger. I know y'all want to see it, so I'm showing you. And I keep hitting it over and over and over. And it is annoying. It's like one of those things, like if you have a like cut on the bottom of your foot or something, or you can't like breathe right, you don't appreciate it until you don't have it anymore. It's like, I didn't appreciate having a fully functioning working hand that didn't hurt until I got this, and I bump it on everything, and it constantly stings. But, whatever. I'm a big boy, I'll get over it. You know, or I won't. I could bitch about it if I want to, you know? Maybe I'll just bitch about it. I think I'll do that. But now we got all the staples in, we can trim it out. And I'm making sure to be careful with this because the top of my table is extremely dirty and I need to recover it. Because the problem I'm having is I'm getting some stuff transfer, like stains and stuff that came on this, transfer to this cushion. I know, poor me. Whatever will I do? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just whine to you guys, and y'all can listen. But, nah, I'm kidding. Well, I mean, I'm not because I literally was just bitching to y'all, but, you know, whatever. All right. There it is. Super easy peasy, simple, plain Jane cushion. I really like doing staple on. As I was saying, that's why I really like doing these staple-ons. They're super easy. You're really barely even sewing. Because let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches. And this cushion's done pretty much. Nice and easy. I'm thinking what I'm going to do, because there are a lot of different types of cushions in this job. I'm debating on making a actual YouTube video of me doing the helm seat, if I can actually manage to get that thing off. because the helm seat is actually in pretty good shape. It's one of the most protected seats on this boat. So that'll honestly be a pretty simple chair to do. And I think it'll look pretty good. But for now, that's all I'm going to do in this one. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I wouldn't blame you if you didn't, because I know I was pretty boring the whole time. So, yeah. Thinking I'm going to call it. It's enough for me. And while I got you, may as well. For those of you curious, I am using this little Craftsman pancake air compressor. I think it's like 6 gallons. And the staple gun I'm using, this is an air locker. That's the, let me get this freaking thing down. And let me do this. This is an air locker, air compressor, or staple gun. Here is the detail. Is that backwards? I'm pretty sure that's like backwards because of the like camera. I think. Basically, 3/8 crown, 3/8 length. I don't think they make this brand anymore because I can't find it anywhere online. I will do my best to link the closest thing in the description, or if I can find a different model from Air Locker. But, and I know some people can get a little scared to try and start doing upholstery because they see the big, crazy industrial machine and like the sewing and like, how do you even do all that? There's a lot of upholstery you can do without any sewing, just a staple gun. If there's one thing you get, I would start with this, like dining furniture. If you check back in my videos, you can see I didn't do any bit of stitching. All that was just purely stapling. So you can get a lot done with this. Just a little bit of advice or whatever. I don't know. Just me rambling. Let's see. So I did that. Nope. What? Okay. I think. Yeah. So this cushion, let's see, we've been, God, my freaking phone. I know, this is just the most professional setup on the planet. I don't even know if you can hear me. So this cushion, let's see, 130 minutes, about 2 hours. Not bad, pretty quick. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Probably Saturday. Check the posts, and I'll let y'all know. Bye. And make sure I want to end streaming. Yes. And